Face reveal. Alright, now that's out of the way. There's a name you might have heard being passed around the Skyrim modding community. You might have even seen some spicy Reddit posts or spotted a rant or two about him. Derek Diablo is a mod pack creator and is currently making over $1,000 a month, paywalling mod lists and guides on their Patreon. At one point, he was making $1,500 a month. Initially, when I heard of Derek, well, I didn't hear great things. But being the nosy, curious individual I am, I decided to embark on a quest of my own. So I thought to do some digging, and what I uncovered was a huge rabbit hole. But before we dive into this Dwemer ruin of a story, looking to maximize the most out of your sleep? Do you struggle with taking naps because of blinding lights? Manta has got you covered. Let's face it, guys, sleeping is very important and is a big factor determining whether you can properly function throughout the day or not. I was sent a couple of sleeping masks and was actually able to test them out on a 12-hour flight recently. And I have to say, in combination with some noise-canceling earbuds, I was able to fall asleep soundly like a baby. For the most part. Unfortunately, there's not much that can be done to mitigate heavy turbulence. These days, I also try to at least work in one session a day to meditate and nap, and these masks have helped me truly maximize the most out of those sessions, fully recharging my batteries and keeping me productive. Isn't that right, Slothy? The build quality on these masks are great, and they feel very comfortable on the eyes. I couldn't recommend it more for those looking to improve their sleeping quality. So what are you waiting for? Check out Manta's sleep website and be sure to use code MERN at checkout for 10% off your order. Derek has numerous mod lists behind a hard paywall on Patreon and has made trailers on his YouTube channel advertising them. He uses a lot of candy, for a lack of a better word, in his videos. Terms such as official, 4K launch, or gameplay appear in his titles. And things start to get very misleading when elements such as Unreal Engine or NVIDIA RTX appear in his thumbnails. These elements combined together create a fairly potent clickbaity cocktail. And well, no surprise, some people even initially thought Todd Howard himself was releasing another version of Skyrim again. As part of my research for this video, I had to bite the bullet. I subscribed to his Patreon and gained access to his mod lists and guides, as well as his Discord community. I subscribed to his highest tier and noticed one-click installation as one of the main benefits. Immediately, I was skeptical. I've only really seen that kind of automation in tools such as Wobbajack. And well, the promise of one-click installation was a blatant lie. Shortly after joining, I was met with an update message posted on the 8th of August, stating, let me try to replicate the AI voice he uses in his videos. There have been a lot of things that have delayed the one-click, and it's a bit of a story to say the least. There was one click at one point, but it got taken down because they didn't like the fact that this Patreon exists. I have plans to get it back up within a week. Before we continue, there is one important distinction to be made. Derek sometimes labels his mod lists as mod packs, but because they don't actually contain any mod files and they're just PDFs, I will be referring to them as what they are: mod lists. The mod pack term implies the aforementioned one-click install, while the mod list doesn't. From my research, Derek never had one-click installation like he claimed. At one point, Derek did make use of Wobbajack, but he was never able to put together a functional Wobbajack setup. Derek never paywalled their Wobbajack files. However, they were still paywalling their PDFs with links. Their Wobbajack installation guide contained manual instructions to install Mod Organizer 2 and/or the mods in his pack, as well as instructions to generate a Nemesis output, which completely defeats the point of having a Wobbajack setup. These are actions Wobbajack can perform automatically when modlist authors set them up correctly. Paywalling or restricting access to a published Wobbajack list is strictly against their terms of use and license of Wobbajack. This includes restricting access to a file necessary to make the list installable, as that's the same thing with extra steps. After reaching out to Wobbajack staff and Helgari himself, the lead designer and developer of Wobbajack, I learned Wobbajack staff started getting reports of their program being misused by Derek in such a manner. In this case, several members of the Wobbajack team reached out to Derek to try and clarify matters, but he actively rebuffed all their attempts to get him to abide by the usage terms, and tried to bypass them on several occasions. As a result, Derek's list was blacklisted from install by Wabbajack. Being open source and decentralized, Wabbajack can't fully block him, but they have banned his IP and will continue to ban the lists he makes as they are made aware of them. It is very unlikely Derek will ever achieve a one-click install for his mod lists without Wabbajack. Derek has gotten a lot of controversy from their Golden Wind announcement trailer. In the trailer, they claim to have developed one of the most comprehensive packs for Skyrim that this world has ever seen. However, throughout the trailer, there are clear cases of his mod list being riddled with bugs. These include missing or purple textures, incorrect UVs, broken landscape parallax, and incorrect installation of city patches, leading to issues such as floating objects. Derek also made use of Doodle's Advanced Motion Blur Reshade add-on, which is currently not publicly available, and can be seen in the beginning portions of the Golden Wind trailer. Derek never linked or talked about the add-on or reshade in his Golden Wind mod list. It's also worth mentioning he's failed to set up this add-on correctly, as the depth buffer aspect resolution doesn't match his game's resolution, likely because he's using Pure Dark's Skyrim Upscaler mod, which is mentioned in his Golden Wind mod list, but has no link. Bugs aren't just present in his Golden Wind trailer. Taking a look at his Director's Edition launch trailer, I see a Schlongs of Skyrim installation bug. I'm an expert on Schlongs, what can I say? Floating objects in the sky, occlusion culling bugs, lot pop-ins, and children with completely black faces. A myriad of bugs can also be seen in his Skyrim Reborn official launch trailer and Pushing Skyrim to Its Limits Next Gen 2023 gameplay video. Derek has received a lot of criticism for the quality of his guides. In his Golden Wind trailer, he claims to have created one of the most comprehensive mod packs for Skyrim that this world has ever seen, while this mod list consists of a 38-page PDF with links to 847 mods. Skyrim modding can be very daunting, especially for beginners, and with no instructions on initial setup or information on how to install various faux mods, configuration, or any custom patches, replicating his mod list exactly would be very difficult to say the least. He uses patching tools such as Synthesis, but with zero explanation as to how to get it up and running or which patches he's used. Derek's guides consist primarily of links to mods and severely lack extra information on setting up or using these mods. Most of them are one page long. I've seen many guides that are publicly available and far more comprehensive than his. For example, in his character overhaul guide, he tells you to install high poly head, but he completely fails to mention to select the high poly head part in race menu, which is something a beginning modder could easily miss. Derek has been caught stealing from other modders and re-uploading their work. On the 5th of August, he uploaded a copy of Cabbage ENB to Nexus Mods called Omen ENB, with very minor tweaks. Reports were made, and initially Nexus staff said the reports contained insufficient evidence and unverifiable accusations. However, later Omen ENB was placed under moderation and subsequently taken down. Derek then re-uploaded Omen ENB with some more minor changes. In the description of his re-upload, he mentions he had received permissions from Nexus staff and he could upload. His re-upload was then promptly taken down by Nexus. A Nexus moderator by the name Bellcube later released a statement to clarify things. As far as they could tell, no permission was given to Derek by Nexus for the re-upload. Nexus also received reports of Derek having alt accounts and they deemed it was worth an investigation. From what I could gather, Derek's alleged account, Dio Brandon RPG, was banned because Nexus determined it belonged to a previously banned user by Zune127. Zune127 was banned in July for showing crash logs, which showed that they owned a pirated copy of Skyrim Anniversary Edition. I can only speculate Dio Brandon RPG is an alt account of Derek. However, I do have evidence of log times to suggest this, as well as this suspicious comment. But again, it's important to mention I cannot say that this is Derek himself. I am only speculating. One thing is clear though, Derek does not understand intellectual property and ignores the fact that ENB preset creators legally own their work, which is clearly stated on the ENB website under Rule 10. Later on the 10th of August, a user by Color Theory uploaded a copy of Cabbage ENB to the Nexus called Kimchi ENB, with it promptly being taken down. It was so similar to cabbage, the only difference was a minor value change. I, however, do not have evidence to suggest that this was Derek, but felt it was worth mentioning. To conclude, Derek has falsely advertised, tried to actively bypass terms of service, blatantly lied on multiple occasions, pirated a mod attempting to make it his own, and ultimately scammed people out of their money. From all the evidence I've gathered and people I've interviewed, I can say with full certainty, Derek Diablo is the worst scammer I've ever come across in the Skyrim modding community. But what I find especially damning is the public comments he's made in our Discord server, indicating that he admits what he's doing is morally wrong, but he does it anyways because it's not illegal. I know for a fact that this user is Derek because they share the exact same username as the owner of his Discord server, Derek Diablo's Realm. Please do not give your money to Derek. They are giving modlist creators a bad name and are actively hurting the modding community. If you can, please spread this video and let people know, because I feel we need to raise awareness for this topic. Furthermore, I feel these comments he's left in our Discord server speak strongly to his character. Many thanks to Phoenix, the Skyrim Guild moderation team, as well as the Wabbajack team for providing me with the evidence to help make this video possible. I have plans on sharing my face around the channel more, so leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this new kind of content. Don't worry, I'll still be doing my old type of content. I just want to experiment right now. And I also have plans to stream when Starfield comes out. Oh, and quickly before we leave, look at this beautiful poster. Or that beautiful poster. Or this beautiful shirt. It could all be yours. Click the link here to check out my merch. I'd like to give a massive thank you to my patrons for helping me produce the content you're watching, and launching full investigations like this. Let's keep the modding community safe and healthy. Take care, lads and lasses, and I'll see you next time. I'm an expert on schlongs, what can I say?